Hey everybody, it's me, Bryson Booker, and it's time for another BBTV game review just for you and you and you and you and all of you people out there that have Pac Man fever. Why am I talking about Pac Man fever, that cheesy 80s song that I hate so much? Well, I'm talking about Pac Man. Specifically, the Namco Museum Volume 1, released for the PlayStation back in 1995. Yeah guys, this is what started it all. It was considered to be PlayStation's greatest hit because I think it's, the greatest Namco Museum. Obviously, with Namco Museum, they kind of gotten more game centered. By me saying that, that means, they put more games on the Namco Museum, which is a good thing because, yeah, you want more than 6 or 7 games like this one has. But as far as history and historical content, Namco Museum Volume 1 can't be beat. I'm telling you, this has a lot of really good historical content about the games themselves. You can be an arcade runner. You can actually go in, change how many lives that you have on Pac Man. Thank you, God. Thank you. So instead of having 3 lives, you can have 5 lives. And then when the game starts, it'll go down to 4. But still, you have that flexibility where you can actually add 5 lives. So, if you want to be cruel to your friends and make them have 1 life, you can do that. You can go in and change the different settings of the game, how the graphics work, how different things like that. I never went in depth in that stuff. I just care about the games. But you can do that. You can actually read different types of history about the game. There's even a cool intro at the beginning of the game to get you so hyped up. It's like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. And literally, gamers, this is what you've been waiting for. If you don't have this in your collection, you need to go to someone's thrift store or someone's GameStop, or heck, even your cousin's house who lives down the street, and go dig in their attic and find this game, because it's a great game for your PlayStation. If you want to go old school, Namco is definitely a name that has stood the test of time, and they're still standing the test of time. They're using the same old franchise to make the money, but, they're still standing the test of time. But yeah, Namco was a giant back in the 80s. I'm telling you, games like Pac Man, Galaga, Pole Position, Rally X, Toy Pop, Rolling Thunder. What's another one? Sky Kid. Different Namco games from that era. Obviously, all of those are not on here, but you do get Pac Man, Galaga, Rally X, Pole Position, as well as Boskanan, New Rally X, the original Rally X, and Toy Pop. Which I don't think they actually included Toy Pop on their later incarnations of the Namco Museum. At least not that I'm known of. So, here's the back of the game, guys. And I think, again, I'm going to have to do a separate video actually showing you the game and how you can play it. But, basically, you have the original games in their original format. That's the best way I can put it. With Namco, there's no tricks. If it's Pac Man, it's Pac Man. It's not a variation of Pac Man. It's not some scientist's beta testing of Pac Man. It's Pac Man. It's Namco's Pac Man. So they stay true to the original games. There's no funny stuff that goes on in the game. It's literally the game, on the console. But there's an extra element to Namco Museum that is lacking on other incarnations, and it's the fact that it's an actual museum. Now, some people may think like, oh my god, are you serious? Because it can kind of get cumbersome, because like you're literally a person, and I gotta show you guys this in a separate video, so have it in the back of your mind, but I will show you guys this in another video. It's like you're a person walking in a museum. Like, you can look around, you can go in these different tunnels that feature the names of, Pac Man and Galaga. You can literally walk in there, you can see the rules of the game. You can see some artwork from the game. You can read a little history about the game. It's literally like a museum. And that's something that was lacking in later versions. Obviously because, most gamers, when they buy these types of games, just want the games. And Namco said, okay. So they kind of got rid of the museum aspect of it and just gave you the games. Which you can do on here if you don't want to walk through the museum, because, walking through all of the, artwork and all of the rules and all of the things like that, it does take you a second, to actually play the game, because you're walking through and looking at all of this cool stuff. But if you just want to play Pac Man with some friends, you can easily do that in the menu section by just clicking on games, and then you can choose which game you want to play there in that menu. Again, I'll show you this in another video so you'll have a good idea how to do that. But literally, every game, guys, there's content on every game. Different artwork, different art styles, the different cabinet designs, the original sales posters. It's history. Game history within a game. Crazy, right? Definitely, it is. And it's just so interesting that they included all of that on this video game. When you walk in, to the actual game area where you can sit down and play the game, it's really it's like a big interactive place where, for example, for Galaga, it's like you're walking into a space station. Again, I'll show you this. It's like you're walking into a space station where you can look around, and then you'll have the actual arcade cabinet right there. You can walk up to it, look it up and down, and then sit and actually play it. It's great. Guys, it's so immersive. It's just cool. So you got to see it for yourself, and I will show you, so don't you worry about a thing. But it's a great game, not just for the gamer that just says, I just want to play Pac Man, forget everyone else, Mom, just lock me in the freezer, or just lock me in my room so I can play Pac Man. It's for the gamer that says, okay, I know Pac Man, but what's something I don't know? You can actually find that out by playing this game and walking through and seeing the different ways of how Pac Man became to be Pac Man. I mean, what more can you ask for? Again, they didn't do this format on later editions because you had a lot of those gamers that said, we just want the games, and Namco gave them the games. But for those of you who look beyond the games and actually want other things that can make you more appreciative of the games that you grew up with, you gotta get Namco Museum Volume 1 for the PlayStation, released by Namco. Once again, great game, great content, great history. Check it out for yourself.